Hi future knots and future self, thanks for watching this video. It's the very first video of my recap series where I record each day of the previous week and then put them all together in one video, so you get to see kind of how my previous week all came together in my daily doodles, or daily drawings, daily doodles, whatever, you know what I mean. Yeah, so this week's series of drawings. Actually, when I first started drawing this one here, which was inspired by an umbrella I have here at home, I thought it looked really cool, and then I started drawing every other day consecutively by using lines from the previous week, and I just thought it started looking like they all came together as one art piece, and they also looked like they were telling a story, and I thought that was so cool. So from that, I actually created a story to complement this, to go with this video. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I will say each day as they go, and then also kind of talk about a little bit about each day. So I hope you enjoy. Thanks. A solitary tree grew without friends. Longing for someone, he tried to grow towards the sun. He grew to be gigantic, but he quickly learned that he could not reach the sun's distance. Upset with this news, he became quiet and still. That's when a crane appeared before him, a crane that called himself Fate, and he asked the tree what was wrong. The tree told him that he wished to be around others, to not feel so alone. The crane heard him and said, "To be surrounded by others can be just as isolating as being alone." Yeah, so, yeah, I can't really say much about that, about Monday's drawing, other than, I liked how it turned out. Drawing that tree was very different because I'm used to drawing leaves and everything, but when I was looking at the original piece that I was copying, like imitating it from, or inspired from, they actually just used those pen lines and then added green over top of it, so that's what I did there. I like that. But I'm gonna stop talking about that one and get on to Tuesday's drawing. So on Tuesday, I came up with the story of: the crane flew off and sent a great wave that washed the tree from its mountain top to the lands that were below him, where people lived. The wave carried him far, and he washed along the shore of a kingdom where the emperor was out admiring all of his land. The emperor loved the tree, and he admired the tree's magnificence. He demanded that the palace be made of this tree so that he too could tower as tall as him and admire his kingdom all at once. Yeah, so I wanted to go with, I liked that Monday. I didn't really want to break away from that theme, so I started looking into like different styles, Japanese styles or Oriental themes in like art and all that, and it came up with, remember, I came across the Great Wave, which is such a great piece, and wanted to complement the curves of the Great Wave with those sharp points in the mountain, and it was a lot of fun to do this one. It was the blues, I feel like, because most of the mountains and most of that this day was all done in like more neutral colors, the blues really kind of emphasized and draw your attention to it, so it was kind of a neat day, and I like that. So yeah. So Wednesday, I started drawing a bigger piece, more of a landscape, and for that day I came up with this story. When the palace was built, the emperor could see all his power touched, but his heart wasn't full, and he became quiet and still. That's when the crane Fate appeared, and he asked the emperor what was wrong. He told Fate that he longed for someone who loved his kingdom as much as him. Fate told him, "When we see with only our hearts, we are blind to what's in front of us." But Fate flew away, and days later, a woman appeared before the emperor who loved him and his kingdom. The emperor married her, and his heart was hers. Yeah, so on this day, I wanted to go with a really nice like landscape picture, but it was inspired by some Japanese artwork that I've seen where they used, on canvas, or like I think they usually use it on like bamboo too, but it's all like brush work, and so I wanted to use my brush markers that I have here. They're watercolor markers, and so I'd lay them down and then add that water brush across, and it kind of like blended the overall picture all together, especially the trees, the land, as you see here, I'm drawing in the sky too, and it was very faint, so I had to add a little more water, which this moleskin is not very like water friendly, so I had to dry it off as best as possible. And yeah, it came together really nicely. It's probably my favorite day out of all of them, just how it looks in general. Yeah. And so Thursday now, and the story for Thursday was, what he did not know was that she was truly a demon that wanted his land and the kingdom. But he cursed the emperor to become a koi fish, to live in the palace pond and watch as his kingdom withered and died under the demon's reign. But the emperor's son escaped, and he fled to the lands far to find a way to defeat the demon. He looked everywhere but could not find the power to defeat her. Upset with this, he grew quiet and still, and that was when fate appeared. I thought this is kind of a good spot to like, I thought this is kind of like a good spot to stop that story, because I found this story when I was writing it blended really well into the next day. Yeah, and so in this one I basically didn't do too much other than just stuck with like a water brush, or not a water brush, like the black ink that you see in traditional styles. I wanted to draw that geisha and that woman, and I think it came together really nicely. So again, I don't have much else to say than this has been a really great week to draw. I keep saying that. So on Thursday, I came up with the story for this one that kind of blended into that. The crane appeared before him and told him, the crane appeared before him and asked what was wrong, and the son said that he wanted the power to bring justice and peace to his father's kingdom, and fate told him that justice and peace can be of one blade, one wield with purity. Fate flew away, and a feather fell from his wing that turned into a sword. The son took this sword back to his kingdom to defeat the demon. In this day, as you can see here, it's a bit of a different style. I wanted to go with like a manga look, because that's another great style that you can see that's come from the Japanese culture, and I thought it was something that I don't normally tackle. It's not something I'm normally really good at, but I just love how this day turned out, because as I was drawing it and wanted to get in the day, or the lines and everything, I actually started blending in more black, and found that taking away what I thought needed to be important detail actually left less detail, but in turn gave you more of an understanding of what the image was and able to like understand it a lot better. And I thought that was such a great idea, is like having one of my favorite things is that I've learned when I was taking graphic design class, is one of my favorite quotes is a designer knows he's achieved perfection, not when there's nothing left to add, but when there's nothing left to take away. And so from that quote, I got the idea of like not needing to have to force the images to give off every detail, that you can keep them very simple and very minimal, but still have that understanding of what your drawing is and perceive that drawing to the viewer. So on the fourth day, I came up with the story. The son fought valiant and pure, defeating the demon, and his evil was gone from the land. And life began to grow and return back to the kingdom. And the curse that the demon placed on the emperor was broken. Proud of his son's achievements, he thanked and applauded the son for his hard work and great. Honestly, I hadn't really thought too much after this of how the story would go. I had only written so much, and then I realized that, I wanted to start drawing or talking more about this and getting this video out. I'm rambling at this point, but what I wanted to apply basically was that the demon was defeated, and the king was released from his imprisonment, but he had learned from his understanding of not needing to be so fixated on his kingdom and all that he could have what he wanted in his son too. In this day I wanted to draw bamboo because I thought that would look really cool, because bamboo is not something that I find is very easily to draw for myself, but I love how it turned out here because I wanted to stick with that keeping things less difficult and keeping the simple effect. And so on Sunday, I came up with this drawing of the sun in the clouds, because I wanted to go with playing on the idea of that Japan is called the land of the rising sun. And in my story, it ended with the sun being, or the emperor realizing that, the kingdom is not his anymore, that it's his son. And his son rose to defeat the demon that was about to destroy their land and kingdom, and his father. So forever the king said that the land would be forever known as the land of the rising sun. And I thought that was a great way to end the story and kind of tie this whole week together in these drawings. And so yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and the story that I came up with. I might not always have stories to tell with them. It might be something I do. If you guys liked it, I'll try and come up with a better, more cleaned, scripted story. But if you guys did like how that story came along with this video, let me know in the comments below, and liking this video. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And if you want to see more of these videos, because I want to start recording every day and recapping the week in this series. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I just love how this turned out, and I'm already recording this week that I'm on currently, and it's gonna be really exciting, because all I'm gonna say is I watched a new movie that just came out, and it inspired me to do some really cool artwork. So thanks for watching. Bye.